Where is it? Where is it? Here we are. Okay. Sorry for that, guys. It looks like we've got a little bit of a pause at the start of this one. There we go. They're resuming now. Okay, great. So, here we are. We have ourselves another 4v4 between Finland A and China Frantic. And this time we are on Golden Hill. I don't have no snow mod, so you're going to have to be blinded by the hill here, which is capped with snow. But the rest of the map is nice and green, so we won't look at that too much unless we have to. Finland A currently off to a strong start with a 2-0 lead over China. They won Arabia, they won their home map, and now they're going into Golden Hill, which is a preset map. Neither player has chosen this map, and we'll see how it plays out. Now, going into this one, players had to choose between 7 civs. There was a limited pool, and those civs are Aztecs, Byzantines, Japanese, Persians, Teutons, Turks, and Vikings. My prediction was that we would see Aztecs, Persians, Japanese, and Vikings for this map. Looks like we're not going to see any Persians, but for the Finland team, we're going to see Vikings for Pike in the yellow. We're going to see Turks for Velis in the orange. And then we're going to see Teutons for Zuppi in the blue. And teal is Aztecs for the max. A little bit different from what I thought. The China team, however, going to be a little bit closer to what I said. We've got Jeffrey in the green playing as the Vikings. So China have switched a player out. It looks like they've switched out Whoop. He is going to be replaced by Jeffrey here, who is a much stronger water player. So this is a good map for the China team, since water will play an important role in this map. And that's why Jeffrey is now standing in for Whoop, who is typically a more land player. In the pocket, you've got CL on the Aztecs in the grey, expected. In the red, you've got 5CM playing as the Teutons, aka Vivi. And then on the flank, you've got Tim as the Japanese. So the Chinese team, very close to what I was thinking. Only for some reason, they've chosen the Teutons instead of the Persians. And I'm not really entirely sure why they would take the Teutons over the Persians. Teutons aren't as good on land, on the water as the Persians. And they're not really... I feel like the Persians have more to offer on the land. Like, it's a strange one. But I'm guessing they're thinking bombard towers or something along those lines. Could be a consideration. Since both teams picked up the Teutons here, that's going to be Teutons on Zuppi, Teutons on 5-7. Don't get me wrong, it's a great civ. You know, it's a siege onager civ, which is going to be important. Bombard towers, really heavy late game units. Which obviously the Persians don't have so much of. So, I mean, in that case, I think it's okay. But the Persians are still really great. And I think it's still a viable choice in this game. Interestingly, we've got Turks for Velis, which again kind of confirms that idea of the bombard tower spam, since the Turks have the best bombard towers in the game with the +2 range that they get from their unique technology. So siege onager bombard towers seem to be on the radar for these teams. But that means that, you know, Finland in this one, especially Finland, they're really looking to the late game. They're really looking to the post-Imperial age, where they're going to have the opportunity to make a lot of bombard towers, where they're going to have the opportunity to make all of those really expensive late-game units, which come with these civs. Obviously, you've got on both teams, you've got the Vikings and the Japanese. And the Vikings... Oh, wait, sorry, no, you don't have the... Yeah, you do have Vikings and Japanese on both teams, unless I'm just tripping. Hold on, the teams keep going back and forth. It looks like... No, sorry, Vikings and Japanese for the Chinese team, and only the Vikings, and I guess it's the Aztecs here, for the Finnish team. So, potentially a better water start for the Chinese team on this one. And that leads us now to look at the map. What's the map all about? This map's hard to play. I played this map a couple of times in Nations Cup, and you'll notice that all players have gone for docks so far, because in the center of the map, you've got these rivers which have a lot of fish, and you'd be crazy not to take the fish in this one. And these rivers, not only are they splitting the teams, not only are they making it, impassable for land units, they also connect to the center of the map, which has all of these relics and all of this golden stone. It's called Golden Hill, and this is why. The hill is full of gold. So this is a really important area of the map, the center, and they're going to be fighting over those gold piles and stone piles as the game goes on. At their starting locations, every player has 4 gold piles in one mine and 3 gold piles in another. And they also have a stone mine with 5 stone piles as well. So there is a little bit of stone and gold to start, but it's not going to be long before players are required to move towards the center of the map. And we're seeing that now as Velis, the Turk player, will come in with 4 villagers and try to lay claim to some area in the middle. Of course, that's why winning the water on this map is very valuable, because if you win the water, you can control the shallows and you can prevent your other team from getting villagers across to the center. So it's valuable to send villagers early on, valuable to get some kind of a foothold in the middle early on, and it's important to win the water as well so that you can continue to send units across as the game goes by. It's a really difficult map. You've got to get that balance between water and land just right. And it seems like with the picks from the Finnish team, they're really expecting this to go to the super late game, where the Turks and the Teutons are going to have a big impact. Obviously, we will see. The Chinese team seems to be putting a little more emphasis on the water since they've gone for the Japanese and the Vikings. Jeffrey, of course, the water player, being rotated into the lineup for China in this one. And we see him now up to the feudal age, getting out his first galleys. Going to be Grushing versus Pike. Now, obviously, both of the Vikings have spawned on the same flank, so they're going to be going neck and neck over there. And then the Japanese player, fortunately for Frantic, is on the right flank. So Tim, going to be Japanese flank, and he's going to be up against Max. Max, does he even have a dock? Yes, he does. He does have a dock. I was going to say it'd be crazy not to, but he's much later to the feudal age. You can see Max has moved towards the middle of the map, and the Finnish team is putting a lot of emphasis on coming to the middle really early on. Velis with 2 rangers here. We've got Zuppy with a barracks and a stable, and China haven't even set foot on the hill yet. So the Finnish team want to get this on lockdown as fast as they can, as the first engagements start happening on the left-hand side. Yeah, Pike versus Jeffrey on this side. It's going to be a really intense battle, I would say. Pike's getting the early advantage already, though. Look, whoa, Pike. What a great start for him. He's already got 5 galleys out versus 2 for Jeffrey. Jeffrey's going to have a hard time on this flank, that's for sure. But on the right side, we're expecting Tim to come out on top here. We are expecting him to be able to kill the boats of Zuppy and of Max. He's already doing that, in fact. So the Finnish team going to be sacrificing their water here by letting Mr. Tim walk all over them on this right flank. The center of the map, however, I think this is where the strategies of these teams is really dividing. And I think this is because the Chinese team know that, okay, well, we're just going to win water. You know, we're going to have 2 players go for the water here. We know we're going to win it because the Finnish team aren't contesting the water at all, by comparison. And so, although Pike is actually winning this left side, you've also got Tim already winning the right side and coming in for a flank attack. So this is going to be really nice. And as a result, the Chinese team don't feel so pressured to come to the middle of the map so soon because they know, okay, well, if we win the water, we can send our units across the shallows safely. However, as I say that, CL is going to send units across, and it's not going to be safe. These villagers are going to get cut down by the galleys of Pike, and China is like, this wasn't supposed to happen. We were supposed to win the water. What's going on? Pike's going to get 2 fish. He's going to find himself a villager kill. He's going to find that villager kill. I mean, she's juking him out. No way. She's 1 health. Just... What? No. No. Are you kidding me? That villager avoided every arrow for the last 30 seconds. Neo, is that you? What is this? Oh my goodness. I can't believe she escaped. Obviously, it's still pretty bad for the Chinese team. they're still gonna lose a bunch of ships, but that's ridiculous. Tim's also showing up now as well. Gonna take down some of Pike's galleys, but Pike's on a suicide run now for the fishing ships of CL. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe that just happened. What am I watching? Crazy. But at the same time, Pike's going to lose his fish. I don't think there's a single fishing ship up now for the Finnish team. Indeed, there is not. 0 fish across the board. Whilst 5CM and Tim have 5 fish each, which is definitely going to be propping up their economies a little bit. Center of the map, though, they don't want to leave this too late. Bear in mind, Golden Hill. It's also on a hill, which means that attack bonus for anything on top of the hill, giving the Finns a good opportunity to do damage as the Frantic team try to push their way up. First player is now reaching the Castle Age. We've got 2 players in the Castle Age for Frantic already. And that's going to be both of their pocket players, both going for the fast castle, the Aztecs and the Teutons. Second TC trying to go up for 5CM, but this is not good. He's going to have to delete it. There's a lot of archers already there, and that's going to be a doubt TC, as he's going to have to delete it and go back. Speaking of going back, Pike still here with his galleys, still killing fishing ships. And so there's only 7 extra fish right now for the Frantic team. There's nothing to sing home about. They've got to get on the middle of the map, and they're going to do that with CL bringing up a siege workshop and a monastery. And Velis here might have a lot of archers, but he isn't in the Castle Age yet. He's not even clicked up yet. Zuppy will be in the Castle Age. Max will be in the Castle Age. Well, Zuppy's actually... No, Zuppy isn't castle. Sorry, my bad. Max is castle, but he's the only one. However, I'm still a little bit concerned because the Chinese team is losing a lot of units here. Especially these monks, which are going down to these scouts. It's a little bit messy. Going to throw away two monks for basically free right there. Not very good at all for Mr. CL. And although he does get a monastery and a siege workshop up here, it's looking a bit dicey now. They've got to take the middle control of Frantic. Otherwise, the Finnish team are going to have too much of an easy time locking down the gold. And they're going to starve the Chinese team of resources. The Chinese team are looking stronger here, though, in general. You know, the Chinese team are now... 2 of them are up to the Castle Age. They're starting to roam with knights. He can't take the fight versus Velis, though. He's got too many spears, too many archers here. And the monks from CL are coming out. The mangonels from CL is coming out. This is going to start to turn things. Scouts from 5CM as well hovering around. I know this is difficult to look at, but oh no, Zuppy coming in once again. He's going to get two more monks. Are you kidding me? Zuppy's killed 4 monks so far. He's going for his 5th monk. And CL is just throwing away resources right now. 5 monks down and he converts a single scout. CL not having the game that he was hoping for right here. Oh my god, no, he's going to lose another one. 6 monks down, are you kidding? Make that 7 if this scout gets another... Oh, downhill hits. 7. No, he kept it alive. Well, there you go. It's official. 6 monks down. Anyway, we should turn our attention more to the middle now because the siege is starting to come out for the Chinese team. And, you know, the Finns have done a good job of holding this, but I don't think they're going to be kings of the north for much longer. As Max is trying to get the monks out. Obviously, there's a lot of relics up here, so it's worth collecting the relics. Getting the relics in is going to be important. Obviously, the Aztecs do get extra relic gold as well. But all this siege is starting to come out now. Mangonel is making it hard for Velis to do much with these archers, but he's already fulfilled his role. These archers have suppressed the Chinese team for now. On the water, though, Jeffrey and Tim, basically 2v1 versus Pike. He's the only player showing any interest. And Tim, knowing that the water is won, is doing a big fish boom around his docks. Not ideal, but he does have 14 fish on the field. So Tim's taking the score lead by a long way with all these fish. A lot of eco for Tim. He's also got a lot of military. And Tim's doing a really good job right now with a huge population compared to everybody else. 13 population of Velis, who's in the 2nd position, or the 1st position on on the Finnish team. We got some fires coming out for 5cm as well, trying to head off Pike's galleys. And we're just waiting now to see if the Chinese team can break through and push the Finns completely off the middle. Now, if they can't push the Finns completely off the middle, they're going to be okay with that anyway, because they will have plenty of gold and stone for themselves if they split this down the middle, which it does seem to be the case right now. We've got TCs coming up for 5cm. But Max is looking pretty good here as well. He's got his second TC up in the center. He's got a lot of relics as well. He's got a lot of monks. He's sitting on 4 relics right now. Starting to make eagle warriors. Knowing, of course, that, hey, a lot of eagle warriors can deal with a lot of monks very easily. We're starting to see the techs coming in, though, now. As Pike begins a bit of a sling. Interesting. They're going to get that Viking player to sling Max. So yellow here, going to be slinging the teal player. And look at the resources for Max. He's on the way up to the Imperial Age. Are you kidding me? He's got 800 food, 1,000 gold. The Elite Eagle Warrior upgrade's coming in now. And the Finnish team, once again, going for the big sling strat. It won them the game last time, but this time around, they have got a bit of a difficult challenge. And that challenge is, of course, the fact that China actually has an army now. Last game, China never really had an army. And so the sling was able to pull them through. But Elite Eagle Warrior is about to come out at 26 minutes. This is very, very fast. Now, slinging has been nerfed in this tournament. Slinging is very, very expensive now. They increased the taxation cost on the sling, and they moved coinage to the Castle Age. So there's no coinage here for Pike. A lot of those resources which are being slung are being taken away in tax. But I do like the position of the Finns right now as Heresy comes in on these Elite Eagle Warriors. Get Heresy, dude, before the conversions come through. It's nearly done, and he doesn't want to take the fight just yet. There are a lot of monks here from CL, but the fact that Heresy is done now is going to make this a lot more comfortable for Max to just take the fight. Going to run in. Not going to worry about the fight being turned by the conversions. Why Aztecs over Mayans? Because Mayans are not in the Civ pool for this game. So Max is going to push forward. He's going to take on the Knights. Elite Eagles versus Knights. I mean, Knights are still going to fare fairly well here, but the Knights are massively outnumbered. The conversions at the back, well, they're not coming through. Heresy is completed. Max is just going to die instead of transferring or like being converted to the other side. Meanwhile, Max is coming in with conversions of his own against the Knights. And the Knights are still going strong, but they're going to be overwhelmed now as the next wave of Eagle Warriors come through. Max starting to get more and more upgrades on these guys as well. And there you go. The front line has been broken as Velise comes forward with his crossbows and janissaries. I feel like the Finns could have taken that fight a little better. I feel like Velise could have been there with his crossbows to do more damage, but right now, that front line has been broken, and CL is at a big risk of losing a lot of monks right here as those Aztec Eagles start to take over the map. Plate mail armor is being completed, and Max now needs to follow this up with some siege. We are going to see a siege workshop coming up for him. It's maybe a little bit late, but he will start to bring down the TCs, and well, the Chinese team are in a lot of trouble now. Without any control of the center of this map, gold is going to be a real headache for them. The fight's still going strong here, but there's another castle from Velise, or there it is. He's putting it even more forward now. He's feeling more and more confident by the second, putting that castle very aggressively right in range of the TC of 5cm. Max has +4 defense, +1 attack, and the rest of these monks are going to go down. Really nice call to get Heresy here. It's just really preventing the fight from being turned. And now he can overwhelm the monks as well. 5cm. No point even making another knight now because they're just going to die immediately. Everything being taken down by Max and Velise. The sling strat, although it has been nerfed, it is still incredibly strong. Max now, along with Velise, basically taking over the middle of the map, and this is a huge problem. Oh yeah, Valise was being slung by Zuppy as well. You'll notice that Zuppy's also in the Feudal Age. So it's a 2-2 sling. You've got Zuppy slinging Valise, you've got Pike slinging Max, and they're all in on the middle of the map. They don't care about the water. They just want the hill. They know that, well, if they have the middle, they can take the water back. And you can see that already with Max now, throwing down a bunch of docks. He's like, right, we've got the middle. What's the next objective? Well, obviously take the water. Elite Eagle Warriors versus Galleys. That's happening. And Tim now will reach the castle age. I think Tim was doing a bit of sling as well, actually. But now the Chinese team have a big problem on their hands. And that problem is the lack of gold. They've already started trade. They've already had to invest resources now into trade carts, as all of their gold starts to run low. I guess Jeffrey's okay on the left side, but I wouldn't be surprised to see the grey player completely out of gold in just a second. Indeed he is. The last gold mine's got 20 gold left, and it's going to be gone. So this is a really nice showing from the Finns here. The fires are coming out now on the water, so he can try and get that water back. China obviously fishing away like crazy. Tim with 25 fish, 59 ships. Oh my gosh. How did Tim manage that? This is ridiculous. I've got to just point this out, because Tim has actually docked on Max's island, or Max's land. Look at this. Max's TC is here. There's the shallows to get to the middle. And here's Tim just fishing. He sent villagers down here. He's fishing so far down. He's got a transport ship and a sneak villager. It looks like Tim wants to try and hurt the economy of Zuppy by the looks of things. This is a very nice sneak from Tim. And it's also helping him to keep his fishing ships going as well. So a nice play. You've got to appreciate that. But at the same time, I don't think that's going to be enough, you know. Tim's under a lot of pressure here. We've got fortified walls coming up. They just need to delay. They need to hold the line from this military. Valise coming through with some petards. Gonna try and take the fortified walls down. It's gonna take him a long time though. And for now, they are able to stall. Obviously, they could start doing transport ships. That's an option, but they need to win the water back first. Exactly as Ivik says, the sneak is nice, but it's too late. Tim, I think what he's trying to do is wall up the back so that if they try to trade, they're going to be blocked. But it won't make a difference because, well, the Finns don't need to trade. They've got all the gold in the world in the center of the map, and they're uncontested there. They're starting to take down these walls. They're trying to find a way through. The Chinese team, of course, walling it up as much as they can. Tim walling all the way across the shoreline here. And China now, they're just waiting for their trade to kick in. China are just trying to stall and wait and wait and wait until the trade can kick in and start to give them a surplus of gold to play with. But right now, I mean, the Chinese team is going to be starved for gold. CL's got 29 gold in the bank. 5CM's got 200 after selling some resources. Jeffrey's got 200. And meanwhile, you know, Max has got 900. Zuppy's got 900. They've got loads more gold income in the center. They're slowly breaking through these walls, and they are stalling them. 5CM getting some knights out. More and more trade as well coming up. We can see that they've got 20 trade carts on Jeffrey, 18 on Tim, 8 on 5CM. But, uh-oh, Max has made it through. I'm guessing it was a transport ship. There's now Eagles in the economy of Jeffrey. The Eagles have landed, and they have got Garland Wars as well. So, we're looking at 9 plus 8 attack, 8 pierce armor. Jeffrey does have Bracer, but still, his eco now is going to be under a lot of threat. As look at how exposed these villas are, getting cut down. And if Max makes it into this trade line, I think it's game right there. Uh-oh, it's game right here anyway. Look at this, Valise has made it through now with the Elite Janissaries and Crossbow. They've broken through the wall. And that's it. China calling GG as Finland will take their 3rd game in a row. Finland are playing out of their minds. Just a really well thought out game. A really good strategy from the Finns. Once again showing that they're going into this with a well-defined strategy, with a well-thought-out idea. Tim's called GG and resigned, leaving his teammates alive. His teammates haven't resigned just yet. Maybe a little bit of salt from Tim. Doesn't want to give it up just yet. Doesn't want to concede the 3rd game, but there's no way they're coming back from this. Velise is in that trade line. The trade which they have so desperately built up over the last few minutes of the game. And before it's even really had chance to pay itself back, Velise is taking it down. Jeffrey's gone, 5CM's gone, and the Finns are going to get 3 points now after a fantastic play. And I really liked it. You could see the difference in strats. You could really see the difference. The Chinese team put so much more emphasis on the water. Both Tim and Jeffrey going for that galley rush, trying to control the water, trying to deny the fish. And the Finns just said, yeah, you know what? You can take our fish. Have it. It's a donation. You can take our... We don't care about the water because we've already got Velise and Max in the middle of the map with a foothold, which is uncontested. And then we're going to get Pike and Zuppy to sling out of their mines, sending all of their resources to Max, all of their resources to Velise, and they're going to take over the middle with a 25-minute Elite Eagle Warrior push and wipe out any resemblance of a Frantic hold on the middle of this map, securing all of the gold, securing all of the stone, and giving them a huge platform to push. And at that point, China's like, oh crap, we've got no gold, we need to trade. And so China's investing resources into building markets, investing resources into building trade. And it takes them a good 20 minutes before that trade can even get to a point where it's able to build a surplus of gold and China can defend. And at that point, it's too late. Velise is through the walls with his elite Janissaries. Max has landed across and started raiding. And China is GG right there. It is 3-0 for the Finns. And they might just get a clean sweep here against China. They are looking dominant in every game. They're looking like they're going into this with a solid strategy. And with the 4th game coming up right now, China are against the ropes. This is a best-of-7 series, but it could end right here